Hey guys, Coach Lou here to bring you an awesome question, meaning, are you strong enough for your weight class, right? So there's a good amount of people that I've spoken to, and they think that strength doesn't matter in jiu-jitsu, which I understand where they're coming from, but I don't agree with that. There's a good amount of people that think, I don't think they think that solely strength is a thing, obviously, because it's a very technical thing. And there's a good portion of people say, watch out for the people that are strong and technical, right? And that's what I'm chasing myself. So one of the things you guys are gonna be able to do here is download this chart that I developed. Depending on your weight class, what range you're at, you're gonna be able to see during various lifts where you are and where you stack up. And what that tells us, or what that tells me, is what should you be focusing on? I think there's prerequisite numbers that you should be hitting in certain classical lifts, right? Obviously, the squats, the deadlifts, the pull-ups, the variations, bench pressing, the whole nine, right? You should be at a certain level. You shouldn't be completely weak for your weight, right? Because if you're weak for your weight, that's what we call relative body strength. And if that number's down, if your relative strength is down, how strong you are compared to your weight, you're not going to be explosive. The most explosive people on this planet, jumpers, sprinters, are really, really strong for their weight, right? They could propel their body weight unilaterally on one leg like it's absolutely nothing, right? So I want to go over four things that I think create this to know, like, criteria if we're not strong enough for our weight class and why we're feeling smashed during rolls and whatnot. And two of them have directly to do with strength related topics, and one of them is more like efficiency, right? So working from efficiency side is you're just not being efficient. that comes down to technical savviness, right? Timing, execution. We're trying to force positions, trying to force things. So when we do that, we're isometrically holding muscles and squeezing hard, regardless if you're elongating muscle or moving it through its range of motion or squeezing hard. It's going to require oxygen and nutrients. And if it's not getting those oxygen and nutrients, that's where you start to get that lactate threshold, that burning sensation, and you're probably going to start huffing and puffing, right? So that's a execution problem. That's an efficiency problem, right? One of the things I don't think people think about sometimes is their flexibility, right? So if we're not flexible enough to be able to go in certain positions, especially in the hips and hamstrings, you're probably gonna get smashed, right? You're probably going to end up a lot on the bottom position. You're not going to be able to get out of the bottom position. You're not going to be able to guard retention, guard recovery, right? You're not going to be able to do these things. And that could be a reason why you might just feel like you're getting stuck in certain positions, right? Number three is an interesting one for me. That's bracing. So if we study, if we're big into lifting and we study bracing, we get into what's called irradiation. Now, irradiation means that if I squeeze one muscle on one side, if I squeeze my fist and I squeeze it tight, and you do this in the video, you do this at home also, squeeze this tight, there's no way my bicep's not going to tighten up, and there's no way my shoulder's not tightening up, right? So that bracing is, again, causing isometric contractions. And if you're really on top trying to maneuver somebody back and forth with various pushing and pulling, as opposed to executing and using weight and strategy, you're probably going to burn out and you're probably going to feel weak, which is also attributed to your conditioning, right? So understand that all these things are like they mix conditioning and strength. They hold back each other, right? And that's a big concept to understand there. And then the last thing is directly related to strength, is that you're just plain weak in your hips, weak in your glutes. And I would say for most people, if they're weak in the hips, weak in the glutes, which is the middle of the body, you're going to be weak up top and down low also, right? So there's no such person that has a very, very good relative body strength, which is what we're looking for in certain weight classes, for weight class sports rather. There's nobody that is strong in the weight room but have a low relative body strength, and that's the thing we're trying to chase here, right? And if you're weak in your glutes and weak in your core, weak in the middle of the body, you're going to be weak up top and down low, right? So I'd rather have an individual weak in the middle and or strong in the middle rather, and weak up top, right? Meaning he can't do push-ups and pull-ups, but he has a hell of a deadlift and a hell of a squat, right? And could lunge very good weights. Because then I know the lower musculature in the middle is pretty much, as we know with jiu-jitsu, you control somebody's hips, you control them, right? So certain guards need a certain level of strength, right? And that's what I'm getting at here is we can't be relatively weak. So one of the things I want you guys to do is download your chart there, see where you stack up. By all means, let me know. Get to me at triumphstrengthandathletics@gmail.com. Let me know what's going on, guys. Let me know what questions you have, and I'll talk to you later.